Welcome one and all to Bucket Lord. Thank you. I'm joined again with Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hello.
I have brought you here. You don't even know what we're about to talk about. I was scrolling through YouTube, and then there's a post from Comic Pop, I think, and all it was that you had to remove one of these three heroes. Like we just were that hero no longer exists between Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. If one of them had to go, and I was like, that's a really good question.
Why are you doing this to me?
I've actually thought about it because I saw it weeks ago. I've actually thought about this, and I think I do have an answer
Why are you doing this to me?
because it'll make for good conversation. I want to see your mind toil through it because I know Superman can't leave, but I know
No,
that
Superman's not going anywhere.
yeah.
This is between Batman and Spider-Man. That's enough said.
Enough said.
Um, God.
While I was thinking about this, the staying power of each of these characters is what I was thinking about because most of them are approaching 100 years of being serialized. Some of them, but like I know Batman. Batman's the closest. Batman and Superman, and then Spider-Man came along. But a lot of modern Superman and Batman, I feel, is a lot less egregious than a lot of modern Spider-Man. A lot has happened to Spider-Man in the modern years that I personally am not a fan of, but also I think have long lasting effects that a lot of fans aren't a fan of, like the undoing of Mary Jane and Peter's wedding and all the all the Spider Verse stuff. I like Spider Verse as much as the next person, but it's there's a lot of fun in just having Peter. Like I do, there's a uniqueness to Peter, but once you introduce the Spider Verse, not that it does take away a semblance of his uniqueness, but I don't know. I love Spider Man. Spider Man's my pride and joy, but I think I would choose Spider Man. There's so many. I don't think I can picture a world without Batman and Superman, and the fact that so many, at least in my brain, the fact that so many Spider-Mans work, I think I could do like maybe it's all right to be without it because the generic template of Spider-Man, copy and pasted with a different like color, different outfit, and a variety of different powers, it works every time. People are like, "Ooh yeah, let's go, new Spider-Man." Like it's much harder to do that with both Superman and Batman, at least in my opinion. Like it's not something you do as easily.
I partly disagree with that statement there.
Yes.
That it's harder to have like it's harder to copy and paste Spider-Man, or easier to copy and paste Spider-Man than it is to copy and paste specifically Batman, because we've seen Terry McGinnis take on the role, we've seen Dick Grayson take on the role,
Yup.
we've seen Jason Todd take on the role, we've seen Damian Wayne take on, we've seen Tim Drake take on the role. So I mean, there's there's definitely ability there um to copy and paste, even though they're not the exact same. But even with Spider-Man, they're not the exact same, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got Peter from 616, and then you've got Peter from 1610. Very different personalities. And for those who aren't well versed in the labels of the universe, that's main universe and ultimate universe. Um, then you've got Miles, very different from Peter. You've got Spider Punk Kobe. Again, very different personality. So yeah, you can take and copy and paste the powers, but even in both cases, you're not copying and pasting the personality. Each person carries a different personality. I feel like with Spider-Man, there's so many more vast personalities that have taken on that mantle.
Yeah.
but it still makes it hard to choose. Like,
I could keep going with the Spider-Man thing. I do. Spider-Man does have memorable villains. I know that. I get that. You'll probably like hit me for it because you're the Superman fan. I think out of the trio, Superman has the least amount of recognizable villains. I think
oh,
the
that's
average.
crazy.
What's up?
Oh, that's crazy.
I think the average Joe could probably name more, and I guess it's something in the comments. Do you think you can name more Spider-Man and Batman villains than you can Superman? Because I feel like most people will be able to go much further with Spider-Man and Batman than Superman.
I mean, I do think that they'd be able to go further, but also I've realized this because so I have a group of friends that we do like tier lists and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've never realized up to this point how extensive the rogues gallery for Batman and Spider-Man are. So we were doing a tier list on comic book villains, just in general, like all of them, between Marvel and DC. When I tell you, it took so long to get through Batman, and then you get through Superman, and then you get through the rest of DC.
Yeah.
And then you get to Spider-Man, and we're still working on Spider-Man.
They're a lot.
We've been getting together to do this specific tier list like 3 or 4 times now, for like 3 or 4 hours, like 9 hours, and we're still not done. We're still not done. Almost half a day.
I believe it. There are a lot of characters. I think that Spider-Man has not less impressive villains because I've been reading through a bunch of early Amazing Spider-Man. I think I'm issue 11. Like Kraven was just introduced for the first time. Like I'm in early Spider-Man, but I think Batman villains are out of the group. I think Batman villains are like the peak, and then I'd say Spider-Man, then Superman. But I think I can argue the few of Superman I like more than most of Spider-Man's, because a lot of Spider-Mans have a lot of cool designs, but they have their own individual personalities. But I care about Green Goblin, who's a Marvel green and purple crazy character, not Joker, who kills a very close person to the hero. And I need to look up when it happened. I need to look up when Jason Todd dies versus when Gwen Stacy dies. I think Gwen Stacy does die first, but still, like, the green and purple
Gwen
person
definitely dies first.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the whole Under the Red Hood thing happened. It happened more recently than it definitely happened more recently than Gwen.
Than Gwen Stacy's death.
And also, Jason Todd's death was voted on.
Yeah, it's a vicious world, and I'll bring it up later. Yeah, Green Goblin, cool. Hobgoblin, okay. Kraven, okay. Kraven's cool idea, but the more he comes back is like, you haven't been able to hunt Spider-Man. Why is it going to work this time? I could go down the list. Electro's cool, but there are a bunch of iterations of Electro. Shocker's fun. Like, they're fun gimmicks. And then you switch over to Batman, and those characters, they're not gimmick characters. They are much deeper, I guess.
That really depends. If you go into early Batman, he's got some whack villains.
I believe that. Like Golden Age, I guess.
Golden and Silver Age.
Yes, I do understand and believe that.
You got people like Crazy Quilt. You got Condiment King. You got freaking the Eraser, dude dressed like a pencil. But I mean, you also got, like, there are crazy ones for Spider-Man too. Like, Spider-Man got a whack villain called the Wall.
I was gonna bring up the Wall. I remember the Wall.
Wall shows up for like one comic. Dude is just a Wall.
I think he shows up in like the middle of a baseball game or something.
Yes, he shows up they get kicked out of the baseball game for fighting at the baseball game. And then at the end of the comic, Spider-Man's like, I wonder who's winning. They're just sitting out there on a park bench. Spider-Man sitting next to a freaking wall.
I guess I'll hand over to you soon because it's Spider-Man for me. I think that Spider-Man has gone through a lot of regression throughout multiple writers, which makes me sad. There's been a lot of stuff to force Peter into a certain mold or like force the entire. I hate the ideology of if Spider-Man is doing well, Peter Parker has to do poorly, or if Peter Parker is doing well, Spider-Man has to be going badly. Like I want to believe in a competent enough Peter Parker to be able to juggle it a little better than that. But a lot of modern Spider-Man that I've seen, at least Peter, he's he's regressed. I don't know what else to say. Like it's hard to read him.
As a caveat to that, they also kind of treat Batman the same way.
I agree with that. I just think it's less. I'm much less angry with what they do with Batman than how they treat Peter Parker.
I don't know. I was really upset when Selina walked out on him.
I'm a big Tom King fan. I was also upset.
I was so upset when she was like, "Yeah, but if I marry you, like I love you and all, but like if I marry you, you can't be Batman."
Yeah, you'll be happy, and then you won't have won't have it anymore. I was like,
no! you won't be able to be Batman if you're happy, and it's like, and the thing is, like they say. Almost word for word in Spider-Man comics, they say the same thing. You can't be Spider-Man and be happy. And I think there was something that Stan Lee or one of the writers said in an interview a long time ago that Peter and Spider-Man are not according to the writers, are not allowed to be doing good at the same time.
I don't like that.
And like, it's just crazy to me because like. Spider-Man has got this whole space thing going on right now. And you've got the fact that I guess Ben's living in his place right now.
Wait. When? Wait, what? Like in current Amazing Spider-Man?
I believe so. I might be a little behind.
Last time I saw Ben, he was Chasm. And then they threw him away, which made me sad.
So, somewhere in the current continuity, Peter has gone to space. At some point before Peter went to space, because of the fact that Mary Jane is now Venom, Mary Jane finally left Paul and went to Peter. And Peter pretty much just looked at her and was like, you know, I'm not going to be your backup. Like, go away. And there's been a whole thing on the internet because nobody's confirmed or denied yet whether or not that's Ben or whether or not that happened before Peter went to space.
We love clones.
But Peter is in space and he has an alien girlfriend now.
That's not what I want. He belongs with Mary Jane.
He belongs with Mary Jane.
But
I think what he ended up saying to her is that something along the lines of, because I read it, but I read I think it was All New Venom number 6 or number 7.
Yep.
Where she finally breaks up with Paul and then goes to Peter. And I think he says something along the lines that while you are with Venom, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Which I think part of it is because of the fact that, like, at least in my mind, even though they don't actually say it, I feel like Peter, at a certain point, because of the fact that he's an overthinker, he's probably like, is this Mary Jane coming back to me or is this Venom?
He is
Venom is unhealthily obsessed with me.
That's a classic Parker move.
Like, Mary Jane loves me, but at the same time, she loved Paul and she was with Paul, which is terrible. But anyway,
Yeah, we gotta get it. We gotta get that guy out of my mouth.
um,
No, I'm reeling you back in. So I still know is we know it's between Spider-Man and Batman. Another thing I was thinking about were like memorable moments between the two, just going like one for one. Because I was thinking death of Gwen Stacy, death of Jason Todd, um, Bane breaking Batman. I'm trying to think of a big breaking the Spider-Man story.
Spider-Man No More.
The Spider-Man No More. That is yes, that I'll take that. Um, we have I like the Court of Owls and how it was like 2010s and we got a new faction that was supposed to have been in Gotham this entire time, and I'm trying to think of a newer Spider-Man villain that I think carries a similar clout, and I don't think I can.
To the court, I don't think Spider-Man's ever had anything that's been to the extent of the Court of Owls, just because the only secret organization really that Marvel has had has been the Illuminati, and they're the good guys.
I guess then thinking of some newer Batman villains, I know that not a great example. Punchline is a newer character, one of the newer villains. Oh, he's not a villain, but the guy that kind of looks like Moon Knight that he fights with. He's not a. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name. He kind of looks like Taskmaster, but he's not Taskmaster. He bums around with the Bat family. It'll come back to me later.
Azrael?
No, he's
I was
real
gonna
new.
say, like, Azrael's the only one I can think. Anarchy?
No, it'll come back to me later. I'll look at it later.
No, because Anarchy's original costume isn't the same as the one in Beware the Batman.
I guess I can. Yeah, I guess I can Google it. Like modern Batman villain. I'll do modern Spider-Man villains first and see if any jog the memory.
I mean, the most recent Spider-Man villain I think is just Chasm. This is the most recent new one.
I had angry thoughts about Chasm.
Well, yeah, I mean, because Chasm. I mean, we'd already put Ben to bed. Ben was happy.
The Beetle has a syndicate. Okay. I don't know you. I think that Paul was Amazing Spider-Man's reader's worst enemy. Ha ha.
You're right.
I think the closest thing to the Court of Owls might be like the Spider-Verse villains, the vampire people.
Oh yeah.
I think that might be the closest. Bedlam, but that was a Carnage symbiote thing. Not Carnage, that was a Venom thing. There's a Goblin Queen, a Queen Goblin, Chasm, the Beyond Corporation, in Kindred, which I couldn't name any of them. And those are villains, best new villains in the past 5 years. I'll do modern Batman villains.
I mean, like, talking about it like more and more, I'm realizing, like, even though so much has happened to Peter, there's a lot of stuff that you can't. There's a lot of continuity problems with Spider-Man.
There is a lot of continuity problems with him. Wait, let me read these few characters, then we can move on with you. Failsafe, I didn't even think about that. Oh, all the like Dark Knights, like Joker, the Batman Who Laughs. Trying to see any. I see characters, but they're not very. The Magistrate, Peacekeeper 01, Ghostmaker, that's his name.
Also, I don't think Punchline's going to be a villain for Batman for very much longer.
I believe because
of just because of the fact that people are trying to get her and Damian to be the new Selina and Bruce.
I don't think it's Punchline. There's a girl he met at there's a clown girl. She's a clown girl. I don't think it's Punchline because she meets Damian the stupid Mortal Kombat death tournament for children. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's Punchline.
I don't know. There's a lot of talk online right now about Punchline and Damien.
Adam. I've done a lot of yapping. You have to make a decision.
Yeah.
You have about 4 minutes.
Let me talk through it real quick.
All right,
So
let's talk through it.
I love both, right?
I also love both.
And with Batman, you have all these fantastic stories. You have the fact that bro can't be happy if he's Batman, which is terrible. Like, I just want Bruce to be happy, but also still be able to be Batman. Or screw it, retire.
Terry,
Give it to one of the 4 children that you have adopted.
I think even with Batman not being allowed to be happy, he has built a family around himself that keeps him. That is the closest thing to happiness he allows himself.
Right,
because Peter doesn't do that.
No, because the only person he has is Miles.
And Aunt May, of course.
Well,
sorry, keep talking through your stuff.
Then you've got the biggest thing that made me upset, them killing Alfred, and he's still not back.
Yeah, that is a crime against humanity.
He's still not back. Why?
I don't know.
DC?
I was reading Modern Batman. It was like the new run. It started at 1 again, and Alfred was around. I was like, oh, cool. But then I didn't notice he has like a Force Ghost like silhouette around him. I'm like, he's dead. He's not even here. And Batman, like, Bruce has talked to him all throughout the like first 3 issues. I was like, what are you doing?
Bruce is probably going crazy because he misses Alfred.
Sorry, continue.
Either that, or Alfred is so powerful he came back as a ghost.
I believe it.
Anyway, then you've got the fact that, some versions of Spider-Man have killed off Aunt May, some haven't,
Let's not talk about the dark multiverse.
And Alfred doesn't. She gets to come back and Alfred doesn't. And every time Aunt May gets hurt, Spider-Man goes on a rampage. Bruce didn't get pissed off when Alfred was gone. He kept his cool.
I'm curious how other writers would have written that, because that's definitely a Tom King thing. Tom King wasn't going to let Batman go off on a crazy, kill everybody crusade, but I think other writers might have.
I don't know, because Batman is a very stoic character to the point to where his rules for how he functions are more important to him than just about anything. Because if you listen to him, anytime he talks about whether or not villains deserve to die or whether or not he should go to that extra point, he always sticks to his guns and says, I can't, because that would make me no better than them. Which is why Peter has the caveat of, if he's going to go after somebody and kill him, it's not Spider-Man doing it. He's taking off the mask. You're looking in the face of Peter Benjamin Parker.
I am going to make a final statement. I'm going to wrap up, and then you're going to wrap up and give me an answer. And we can do a part 2 to this, because I'm sure you have much more to say, and we'll just revisit this.
We're gonna have to revisit this. This is insane.
I think at the end of the day, it's a lot of minutia. Who has better villains? What have writers been doing to characters recently? Like the supporting cast, etc. At the end of the day, for myself, I think Spider-Man, unfortunately, doesn't. He leaves a legacy amongst other Spider-Men. he leaves a legacy amongst other Spider-Men, but he doesn't really have a long-standing legacy. And all the time, characters are like, "Oh, you're the best of us, and you're gonna be the future," and blah blah blah. And unfortunately, as we as we've entered this future for Spider-Man, he is not. He's not any. He's not any of the things that made him not made. He's not any of the things that made him as great as he used to be. And I think Bruce and Clark have always had a legacy, have always been able to throw someone towards their goal. It's just characters they are. But yes, at the end of the day, I don't think Spider-Man has a great legacy, and I choose Batman. No, I choose Spider-Man. Spider-Man needs to go.
That's a really good point, especially because back in the day when people talked about Spider-Man, they did talk about him being the best of Marvel. Even Captain America has been noted as saying it at least Ultimate Captain America did, because of the fact that Peter gave his life. I think it was fighting the Green Goblin.
In the Ultimate Universe, yes, he does.
Peter came super close to death, and Captain America shows up and talks to him right before he dies, and he's like, "You were the best of us." Da 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 da. And we've come so far from that point with Spider-Man that Spider-Man no longer embodies that. I don't think. Spider-Man's a good guy. He's a good hero. Peter's a good guy. He's a good hero. But a lot of times I feel like he falls victim to what they call they say that DC is gods trying to play humans, and Marvel is humans
men trying to be gods. Yeah.
Peter definitely falls victim a lot to his more human side. And that's not necessarily always a bad thing, but with Peter, it seems to always end really terribly for him.
It's a bad thing for you.
It's a bad thing specifically for him. Only him. So with that being said, I think I also have to go Spider-Man, just because of the fact that Batman has the ability to hold true to himself better than just about any other hero minus Superman.
That's also a good point. Batman does not falter.
Even alternate versions of Batman, other than the Batman who laughs, Batman that were pushed to the point of actually breaking. Yeah, those guys went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but for the most part, the Batman that we're familiar with has always stuck to his guns. Even in the Absolute Universe, where Batman is getting shafted, Batman is getting absolutely cooked.
He doesn't deserve what's happening to him.
No, and it's just because Darkseid hates him. Literally just because Darkseid hates him. He said, "You specifically are going to have the suckiest life in my new universe." And Superman's going to get all your normal villains. All your normal people are going to Superman.
That's so dirty.
Talia, Raish, all your normal people are going to Superman. You're getting the screwed up people.
Where are Superman's problems? You mean your problems? Okay.
They used to be your problems. They're not your problems anymore.
Thank you. You cannot see it. The background, it's a picture of Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman, and they're all together. And it's awesome. Thank you for joining me for this. I hope that we'll have a discussion like this again. I'll find something else for us to talk about for 20-ish minutes. This is actually close to 30 minutes. But but
Post it, no editing.
Post it, no editing. He said it.